Okay, last problem, number 35 from the Geometry Review Worksheet. I've already marked all the given information. AB is the same size as AC, so these marks right here. DF is perpendicular to AB, so we have a right angle here, a right angle here. And they want us to prove that this multiplication is equal to this multiplication. So I'm kind of starting from the bottom and trying to plan up. This to me looks like it used to be a ratio or a proportion, and maybe they cross multiplied. So I said, okay, BD is from this triangle right here, and it corresponds with CE. So I put BD and CE on top of each other. And then I have DF over here. So I looked at DF, and DF corresponds to EF. So if you stack them, like this, corresponding parts, then you can see that if you cross multiply right here, you end up with this. So this is probably what I'm looking for right here. This is going to be what I'm trying to get in my proof. Now, where do ratios come from? They come from similar triangles. So this tells me that I need a couple of triangles that are similar. And this leads me to think, well, if I'm going to have to prove a couple of triangles that are similar, I'm going to have to know something about some angles. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to look. Okay, now I'm going to start looking at the given information. They gave me that these two sides were congruent. Well, that they gave me that information. That means that this is an isosceles triangle. And what do I know about isosceles triangles? I know their base angles are congruent. So my second step right here, I can say that angle B is congruent to angle C. And the reason that I know that is these are, what is that, the isosceles triangle theorem? Or I'm just going to say what the theorem says. Base angles of isosceles triangles are congruent. That's probably a theorem. It's called the base angle theorem, I think. So that's a pair of angles. Oh, remember I have this right angle. So I'm going to say angle 1 is, and angle 3 are right angles. And that is definition of perpendicular. You look up the definition of perpendicular, it says two lines that form right angles. So we know that those are right angles because they told us they're perpendicular. And then statement number 4 can be angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. And the reason for that is all right angles, there's a theorem, all right angles are congruent. So now I've got enough information, this is a right angle and this is a right angle, that I can say triangle BDF is similar to triangle CEF. And I know that by angle-angle similarity. Now, do you see how it's kind of leading me where I want to go? Since these are similar, I can write this ratio, BD over CE is equal to DF over EF. And this is, what is this? Corresponding sides of similar triangles are proportional. What is that definition of similar triangles? Definition of similar triangles. And then after I say that, I can say I believe it's going to be the proof step that BD times EF is equal to CE times DF. And all I did right there was, I don't know, what did I do? I simplified, I cross multiplied, I would say simplified. Or if you want to say cross multiplied. It is not the multiplication property. The multiplication property, I would have multiplied the same thing to both sides, and I did not. I multiplied this side by EF, and I multiplied this side by CE. I guess I could have done it in steps. Multiplied both sides of this by CE, that would have canceled out. Multiplied both sides. Well, I guess you could. You could say multiplication property because I did. I just did it 2 steps in one. Anyway, this proof would be fine. If this was something, if you put these, there's a couple of different methods that you could use. There's a couple of different ways you could explain your reasoning. You can write the name of the theorem, or you can write what the theorem says. You can write which definition you used, or you can write what the definition says. So there's a couple of different ways that you could do this and still be correct. So this proof right here will definitely be okay. You can do it a little bit differently and be okay too. So you don't have to have exactly the same thing, but it should be something, kind of along the same lines. All right. Good luck. Go work on a different review. Practice, practice, practice will get you ready for your final.